right, man? Oh, check you out. How did that feel?
Bit scary.
That has got to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Amazing, absolutely epic. I'll tell you what, Head Squeeze and Flo have just dropped right into Geek Week big time. Here at Head Squeeze, insanely cool stunts just aren't enough. We like to unpick all the awesome science behind it as well. Blue Joseph has just jumped 10 metres into that ball pit there. That's the same height as an Olympic diver. And just before he hit the bottom, he was going at a crazy 34 miles per hour. Bonkers. Travelling at that speed and from that height, Olympic high divers, and Blue over there, of course, have a huge amount of kinetic energy. In fact, if they were to fall on top of me, they'd transfer all that energy onto my body in a blink of an eye, and it wouldn't be too pretty. Surviving a fall like that is all about getting rid of that kinetic energy over as long a time as possible. Right, I'll show you what I mean with an egg and a dinner plate. If I chuck this egg up a couple of metres and put the plate in its way, that's breakfast ruined. Now, that happened because the egg had a very short amount of time to get rid of all that kinetic energy. It decelerated very fast, probably less than 1/10 of a second. If I try it again, but this time, bit of shell from the last one, this time, if I actually follow the downward trajectory of the egg with the dinner plate, hopefully, yes, it worked. Nice. Now, that happened because we actually followed that route down and we managed to slow down that force over a much longer period of time, probably about a second. And that meant that the impact force it experienced was never enough to peak and break that shell. Now, eggs are obviously a lot smaller than a stuntman. And the guys can actually push their jumps right up to over 100 metres. It's like jumping from higher than the torch on the Statue of Liberty. And one simple bit of tech that they use to manage their deceleration is an airbag. So how does a bag of air safely catch a man? Well, the critical moment, for the stuntman at least, is when he hits the top of the airbag, and he hits it fast. Now, if he's actually going to survive, all that kinetic energy is going to be absorbed by that material, and it needs to start getting out of the way fast. In an airbag, it's air that accepts all that energy, but it could be anything. It could be tomato ketchup or maple syrup or plastic balls. Whatever it is, it's all down to how fast it can get out the way, and that's down to something called viscosity. A stuntman's airbags has special flaps that burst open when he lands on it, and that is where the action happens. You've got all those nitrogen molecules, carbon dioxide, oxygen molecules, brimming full of kinetic energy, all colliding together as they try to escape from the airbag. Viscosity is just how quickly a substance gets out of the way, and that is all down to collisions. So for Geek Week, we thought, let's get super geeky. Let's have a look at that viscosity, those collisions in action. Almost like you're looking through an electron microscope. And how better to do it than use a huge stunt. Thinking about our Olympic high dive again, what is it about water that slows down Olympic divers? It's viscosity again, but in water, like any liquid, the molecules are a lot closer together than they are in a gas, like in our airbag. And they're always constantly colliding as well. That's what makes a liquid more viscous than a gas. And our ball pit is actually a really good model for what a liquid looks like at an atomic scale. Remember where the action happened on our airbag, down at those air flaps, where all of those millions of air molecules are colliding like crazy as they try to get forced out of a small hole. Well, in a liquid, all those molecules are in contact, they're already colliding, so they don't need to be forced together. So as soon as Blue hits the top of our ball pit, all of his kinetic energy goes into those balls and flings them out in all directions. And it's the rubbing and grinding past one another that makes a substance viscous. 60,000 balls pushing past each other, just like in a liquid, rubbing together. That creates a lot of heat. And it's all that friction and sound that take care of Blue's huge amounts of kinetic energy, decelerating him slowly, just like with my lucky egg. Meaning Blue can just get up and walk away. Now that, head squeezers, is daredevil stunt science in action.
Oh yeah! I've wanted to do this all day.
Hey guys, so if you enjoyed that, we've got loads of interesting science and tech over on the Head Squeeze channel.
If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. If not, then what are you waiting for? Hit the button and you'll get loads more of this stuff. Go on, do it.